Right. So the next one is what? Is that the invalidation of children's
Invalidation of children of experiences, not
children?
necessarily children, because one of the most recent experience I have with the invalidation, not me personally, was a lot of my mates. They're in uni at the moment, and they talk about how stressful it is.
Right.
And this actually feeds back earlier into parents telling you that, oh, you have it better here, so you don't have to complain. What we need to realize is that as university students, I believe if you look at the statistics, that's one of the most, I can't remember how it goes. I would have to paraphrase, but it basically says that that's when you're basically one of the most destabilized in your life,
Hmm.
because you're trying to find your feet. You're going into adulthood.
Yep.
You're already in adulthood, but then you're still in an institution of education. So basically,
You're
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 trying to
you're
find your feet, you're
destabilized,
trying to
or
be
you're trying to say
secure, and you're trying to establish yourself.
yeah, you're
So
trying to
you're
say
very
you're
destabilized.
you're talking about vulnerability as well. You're vulnerable.
Yeah, and basically that's when a lot of people will go through stuff like depression. And I can only imagine what it would be like trying to have a conversation with your parents about being depressed. Most of them would either say, "Oh, what are you depressed about?" Or they'll tell you to pray about it, or pray the spirit of depression away. I have a lot of friends who tell me that, "Oh, I can't even, I won't even bother telling my mom I'm depressed because she's going to take me to church, or she's just going to give me a Bible verse, or she's just going to take me to the mosque." And it just shows you again how they could become invalid of the children's experiences because they believe that, okay, well, you have it easy, so what are you complaining about?
Yeah, and like what I said earlier, unfortunately, right? What I've realized based on my personal observation is some of these so-called parents, of course, you expect them to react or respond to you in a certain way. But then when I started personally, I'm talking personally now, when I started looking at some things as I grow older and start looking at life differently, and you're acquiring knowledge and you are sort of analyzing situations that you're faced with, you realize that sometimes you are actually making a demand from someone who themselves haven't got a clue. You see, the fact that somebody gave birth to us doesn't necessarily mean they have all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this to excuse, anyone's failings, but a classic example was a friend of mine was, I think he was struggling with relationship and whatnot. And he had tried not to discuss with families to try to man up and deal with things himself. But he got to a point where he thought, oh, let me speak to my pops. Just like a man-to-man type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And he said to me that the sort of shock that he got from speaking to his dad was like a massive reset button on his brain. And he then, out of that shock, he was then able to resolve his problems with his partner. Now, in a nutshell, he was talking to his dad, da 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 da. This is what happened. This is what I'm going through. What do you think I should do, Dad? And his dad listened for nearly 2 hours. He said his dad was dead quiet. He listened and listened and listened. And the dad just said in Yoruba, me. For the purposes of the recording, if somebody doesn't understand what I'm saying, the dad just said, go and marry another person, another lady. And he was just like, huh? So,
After 2 hours of listening.
like, out of everything I've told you, do you get what I'm saying? So basically, but then again, but check this though. Check this. So I was laughing at first, and I said, how many wives has your dad got? And he said 3 wives. And I said, dude, there you go.
Teaching you to go in his own route.
I mean, he doesn't leave with, I think he only stays with the last wife now. The other two, their mom is the second wife or whatnot. I said, there you go. He's basically offering you what he's got. That's who he is.
Yes.
But you're expecting something refined and something that might help you to think or see differently from someone who has nothing to offer you. So it's one of the problems that we have, man. It's sad. Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of the same parents that you're talking about, they are religious nuts. Everything, if you sneeze 4 times, they must call the pastor. If you're vomiting, apostle must be called. If this and this and this, it's a church program.
Yes.
I mean, I've had even folks within my own family, extended family members. They know me now, man, because I haven't got time. Like, you're hanging out around some family members on a Sunday, right? So some people are getting ready to go to church, and then they're like, dude, let's go to church. I'm like, nope, not going. First of all, I don't attend your church. Second of all, I don't go to church. And then you get that sort of an imposition on you, like, you're not going to church. You must go to church. So and I'm like, yo, and I just shut it down faster than the speed of light. Like, nope. You don't get to tell me. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not going anywhere. It has nothing to do, religion, your religious beliefs and inclinations and whatnot. Those are your personal beliefs. And to tie back into what we're saying, it's like my parents, are you saying Yoruba? Yeah, I want to back my when I'm around my folks, man, they know, like, I'm the dude that on 31st night, you know how to do. What did you say? They will do what?
I said they're still praying for you, I'm sure.
Oh, like I'm the dude. I'm the type of dude on the 31st night when everyone is gone to the so-called watch night service. I'm sat at home watching TV. Or I just wait for the fireworks and I find somewhere to go. I haven't got time. And I live my life. Doesn't mean I haven't got challenges. Doesn't mean I've got everything in life figured out. But, I just see life differently. Anyway, yeah. Let's crack on. Number 6, lack of acknowledgement.
Number 6 basically feeds into what you were saying about parents and how they basically just teach you to go down their own path. There's a lack of acknowledgement for continuous growth as individuals, because I believe that most Nigerian families or most Nigerian parents take a sort of totalitarian approach to how they expect you to live your life. So they tell you, okay, this is how you should do it. If they advise you, I don't really think it's an advice. It's more like, okay, well, I've spoken to you and you should basically take what I've said and run with it.
Yeah.
No idea of, okay, well, now that I've said what I've said, now that you've come to me for advice, what are you going to do? Are you going to do it this way, or are you going to do it that way? It's more like, okay, well, as your parent, I believe I know what's best for you, and I can't. My mom normally says it. I can't remember how she says it, but it's more like, as a parent, she can't lead you astray. So what she says is what's best for you, and it's best for you to take that. They
don't want your views. They don't want you to think outside the box. They basically want to impose their own will on you.
Yeah. That's true. And I believe that some of them, unfortunately, they want to live their own life through you.
Bang on, bullseye. I love that.
I'm fortunate enough not to be the one, but I have seen families where they would damn near disown you if you disagree with them. Oh, I want you to study this course in uni, and if the child goes and does otherwise, they start, saying, "Omo burukuni." They don't.
Omo burukuni that she's saying.
You have to go with what they're saying.
Yeah, for the benefit of the recording, for those of you that don't understand Yoruba, Omo burukuni means a bad child in Yoruba language. Okay. Yeah, you're quite right. I've got a few friends who, I know someone who went to uni, studied accounting and did all that, became a chartered accountant, and dude said to me, he's not fulfilled. Today, he's a business analyst, and he said to me point blank, he said, I studied accounting because my dad pretty much instructed me to do so, and it was like a threat type of thing. Like, if you don't, you're finished.
Yeah, that's true.
So the number 7 is
children.
Number 7 is purpose, right?
Yeah. This one is a really controversial one, but I was watching a video a few weeks ago about what is the purpose of, as Africans, what's the purpose of us giving birth to children? Some will say, I want someone to take care of me when I'm older, or I want to, we just believe that we're supposed to have children because, when you get married, that's what you're supposed to do anyway. So I believe that this is the time now where we actually have to evaluate why we have how many children we want. We have to look
it's like those
factors,
available. those
and what
children,
inevitably passing on to the children.
those children are like their retirement plans.
I didn't want to say it that way, but yes.
No, I'll say it.
Basically, like a pension plan. Like, okay, well, when I'm older, it's kind of like this idea of parents expecting you to give them money just because you know they're your parents and you're supposed to cater for them. You're supposed to send X amount of money to their account every month.
Can I
If
just?
you don't, then they start asking you. Well,
Can I just say, right? Just for the purposes, because there are always some people who are simple-minded and they don't listen, deeply to what you're saying. They just hear and they reply with emotions. Now, I've said this over and over again in my past videos. Even if you've caught this before, I'm not advocating for abandonment of people's parents and say, oh, because they should have saved their own money. Everyone has got different backgrounds and stories, right? Some people, I'm also aware, some parents genuinely sacrificed and they did what they had to do to help propel you in life, even though it's your responsibility and stuff. And I'm not saying if you can, but it should be a case of, if you can, do whatever you can. And
Yes.
so I use myself as an example. So I'm a father and I'm elderly, and my daughter or my son says, hey dad, here's £100, or here's a pair of shoes, here's a wristwatch, or here is whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll take it out of love that's coming from my child, but I am not going to put undue pressure on my children to then suggest that, oh, because I have a credit card bill that I managed to run up myself, then I then use the emotional game of, oh, I raised you,
That's what it is. It's basically
I went through World War III to help you survive, blah, blah, blah.
So you have to pay.
So you have to pay me, and if you don't pay me, you're not going to prosper in life, blah, blah, blah. And it's ridiculous. Just to put it simply, it's just totally ridiculous. And I've had so many people that have watched my previous contents that have bombarded my inbox with all sorts of emails. Like, some people are even too scared to comment in case of somebody that knows their YouTube account sees their comment, and they tell me in my inbox that they are sick and tired of the undue pressure, especially the diasporans like you and I. Whereby there was actually one recently that said her dad in Nigeria blatantly asked her for the amount he was asking for in naira was about 26,000 US dollars. And I'm like, wait, what? What does he need that money for? He said he wants to go into farming, and he needs that money from her because he has sent her all the way to university, blah, blah, blah. And she's now in the US, so she needs to find him $26,000 because he wants to start farming. And then this lady said, Dad, I can only give you $3,000 to help you. And then he called her, what's that name with letter B? I'm trying not to say that on YouTube so they don't flag me.
They called her a witch.
Yeah, all sorts of name, and said if she doesn't do anything before February of next year, he's going to disown her. And I just said to her, I said, disown him before he gets to disown you. So maybe he might come to his senses. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. So, like you said, the purposes of some people having kids is they're hoping, oh, I've managed.
Pension plans, investments, and future investments, basically. Just a portfolio, hopefully, that can pay off in the future.
And also another thing is, if you're in a relationship with a partner and stuff, and then when your parents feel as though you're not coming through with the monies they're expecting from you, they start taking it out on your partner and start suggesting that the partner is the one preventing you from giving them money.
Yes. That's very true as well.
The final bullet point: apology. Let's go.
Yes. Oh, this one is deep. I just feel like I believe we need to learn to apologize to our children, because we're not perfect at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like we're still, in many ways, we are children ourselves, even as parents. And I believe that it's okay one of the many ways to make a child understand, even sometimes when the child is wrong, is to explain to them during punishment that I punished you because. You don't even have to say, oh, I'm sorry, even though sorry is extremely important. I believe that we have to learn to apologize to our children.
Unfortunately, it's like a cultural thing whereby it's just pointless ego and arrogance. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's I've seen it time and time again, and I can categorically tell you that I've been a victim of such, experiences with African parents. It's unfortunately they think, like me my bear.
Yeah, they're not ready to let go of their ego.
Yeah,
because saying sorry takes away from the perception that they are perfect human beings.
Yeah, like me mama you know, that kind of thing. Like,
yes.
Yeah, and it's just
even when they're extremely wrong.
Exactly. Just to say, hey man, listen, look, I'm sorry. I know I've upset you. I know I should, in hindsight, I'm sorry. I was overzealous. I didn't mean to use those words and stuff. What's the most you're gonna do? Okay, it's fine. If you want to cry, you cry about it. But that person has apologized. You close that chapter. Hopefully, you gain closure and you move on. It'll be registered that they've apologized and unreservedly whatnot. African parents, I apologize unreserved. Just the sound of that word, unreservedly. So for some parents, partly to do with maybe living in the West and mixing with other cultures and there are some African parents that are, some are making efforts to think outside the box. Some are starting to see differently. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is not to suggest that we are advocating for our so-called culture to be banned, but like this topic, I can't thank you enough because you came up with this topic. And trust me, remember when I told you I was already gassed when I saw your bullet points. Yeah, because trust me. I mean, this is what I do, but no man is an epitome of knowledge. I was actually looking forward to us having this chat and me filming this and making it public because it covers everyday problems that run across to the ends of the earth, within our communities. I remember even speaking to a lady her mom is dead and gone. Like, she died in 2007. And this woman still has burdens.
Yeah, resentment as well.
Yeah. Like,
because she wasn't able to let go before the mother died.
Yeah. And basically all of this stemmed from, maltreatment from relatives. Your typical African parent is, that's food, I'm clothing you. Yeah, there's the essence of, oh, thank you, mom and dad. But then again, if I want to be straightforward, listen, I didn't ask to be born. That's your responsibility. That's your bloody responsibility. There isn't a middle ground. It's either you do or you don't. So if it's winter season, I shouldn't give you a medal for keeping my room warm. Because I might just die of hypothermia or of just some other illness. If you don't, then you get into trouble with the authorities. Because the question is, you have a responsibility for that child. And I also get it, of course, that to show appreciation for, for your efforts, for the nights when you have to be in A&E, for the nights when mom and dad had to have 2-3 jobs. We get all that. But you cannot then use all of those as a reason to suppress my emotional needs.
Yes.
That's it. I suppose that's effectively what we are saying.
Yes.
So that's it, guys. It's an amazing session. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, button. Show your love, man. It's been an amazing session with you one day. If you want to be part of, we did a Skype session. If you want to be part of a Skype chat with Phrankleen, you can leave your comments below. And we can arrange it. Okay, we can come up with a topic, and then I can have this sort of similar type thing. We'll do a Skype call, and then we can have a chat. All right, it's your boy Phrankleen. Thank you for watching, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye now.